we have got a number of local advocates here in South Lanarkshire who listen to young people every day and who engage with them in a range of subjects. So Caroline's going to come and tell you a wee bit about the service, and then what we've done in the background is we've worked with, I think is it 5 young people, Rosie? 5 young people, 6 young people locally, ranging from 12 to 16, and we've asked them about their experiences of advocacy. So we'll play a short video after Caroline. If you could give Caroline a round of applause.
Good morning, my name is Caroline Richardson. I'm the Advocacy and Participation Manager for Who Cares Scotland, and I line manage the South Lanarkshire Advocacy contract. I have to say it's an absolute pleasure that I've been line managing this contract now for 4 years. South Lanarkshire Council, in terms of our national advocacy provision, has one of the biggest advocacy provision across the country, and I think they need to be applauded for that, because they recognise the power of being able to amplify the care experienced young person's voice. Now we support the local authority, support you guys as corporate parents to do that in many ways. We've just had a bit of a discussion about Dion's experiences, for example, within the children's hearing system. Now, one of the things that we do in South Lanarkshire is that we support young people to either go along to children's hearings and put their views across, or if they are not in attendance, we would go along on their behalf and make sure that the people who are making decisions about their care are actively listening to young people. Now, actively listening to young people is, I'm saying that and it might sound quite blasé, but the most important thing, I suppose, about our advocacy support is we have absolutely no agenda. We're not a statutory service. We don't provide any sort of counselling or support services. We're one of the very few organisations that actually are brought in to support young people because young people request it. If referrals come into our service, it's because a young person has either spoke to a carer, spoke to a social worker, spoke to a residential worker to say, I want somebody independent to come and speak up for me at whatever formal process the young person's then involved in. So it is one of the very few relationships that young people have, that care experienced young people have, where they genuinely have control over that relationship. If they don't want us there, we're not there. It's as simple as that. But whilst we are, the most important thing is to amplify their voice. Part of amplifying a young person's voice, and I think this was touched on earlier, is the fact that a lot of care experienced young people are going to be involved in processes, and Dion will say that as well, where they actually really don't understand what that process is about. And for us as advocate, the most important thing is that we give them that information. So one of the first things that we will do as advocates is we will just break things down to their very basic form and inform these young people about what their rights are. What is a children's hearing? What's a lack of you? Why are all these wonderful professionals come here making decisions about your care? It really is as basic as that, and sometimes that can be quite intensive, it can be quite time consuming, but the most important thing is that it's at that young person's pace, and we also pitch it at the young person's kind of age and stage. An example I can give you is last year I attended a children's hearing for a young person who was only 9. She really struggled to speak in front of her parents. We were looking at, what resources, what tools could we use. I had my laptop with me and I'm sitting there and I'm going, right, so if you're wanting people to understand how you feel, how do you want me to do that? Gave her some examples and she picked emoji faces. Emoji faces, the most basic thing. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What are the good things? What are the bad things? That young person talked more using the emoji faces that I was then able to take to the children's hearing than what she would have done if she was sitting in front of panel members and social workers. So again, it's just one of the things that as a service we are able to provide really good resources and really good tools, but the most important thing is that the young person gets the opportunity to speak. So I could go on, but I'm not going to, because the greatest asset in terms of advocacy is actually listening to the young people themselves. So what I'm going to do, I've got 5 wonderful South Lanarkshire young people who we currently work with who have done some podcasts for you. So I'm going to let you listen to them and they'll tell you what advocacy means to them. Okay, thanks.
Somebody who cares for you or goes to meetings to help you.
It is someone who helps me face my panel and speaks for me and lets them know how I am feeling.
It's like we're with someone who'll help get your point across and like what you're wanting, what you think you need. They'll fight for that and like try and get it straight like to the people who'll deal with it, and they won't just put it in like the closet and just leave it. They'll follow it through and they'll try like their hardest to get what I'm wanting done.
Someone who goes to your meetings for you and helps you to do stuff.
Advocacy is a person that help me get what I want, talks up for me if I can't talk, or helps me with things that I can't do myself.
Advocacy is a way of people to try to help you and get your point across to other people who aren't willing to take it from yourself.
It has helped me to have someone who can take all of my information back to the meeting, and it's good when she is here to back me up when I am struggling to go.
My last advocate helped me get towards more contact with my family.
It's helped me get away from the place I didn't like.
I've had my advocacy workers going to my meeting to get my point across because I feel that nobody is listening to what I'm saying.
I used to be really, really shy and I didn't really like talking to people, but like when they came, they spoke to me and they showed that they cared. That done a lot for me and I felt in a way loved. Like they actually did care for me, and like, I became like really shy, so I came out, and then now I'm doing things like I'm dancing in the hydro, doing lots of things with my dance career, making hundreds of new friends. I'm growing, and it's so good.
It is really important that I know there's always someone there for me. It has been good that I have met great friends for the past 2 years. I have been involved in great fun days out and lots of groups.
It's really important because if you trust somebody, that means you can trust them forever and they can help you harder.
Well, that is probably one of the most important things you have to have, because they're going to talk for you. They have to know, like, you have to trust them to be able to tell them what you want. The more friendly they are, the more they can be trusted, the more they can... You just need to have more trust in them.
Well, really important. Well, at least for me.
The advocate relationship is quite important because it means if you need someone to talk to, they will always be there, no matter what it is you want to talk about.